Have you ever noticed something strange in relationships? The moment you stop chasing a woman, the moment you stop texting first, and the moment you stop trying to convince her to stay, suddenly she becomes interested again. She watches your stories. She sends a message. She asks how you've been. And you start wondering one thing. Why now? Why did she disappear when you cared the most, but come back the moment you stop chasing? This pattern confuses a lot of people. Many men think it's manipulation or some kind of game, but in reality, it usually comes down to simple human psychology. When you understand these psychological shifts, relationships start making much more sense. So let's talk about the real reasons this happens. The first reason is curiosity. Human beings are naturally curious creatures, but curiosity only exists when something feels uncertain. When everything becomes predictable, interest slowly fades. Think about it this way. If someone already knows you will reply instantly every time, if they know you will always be available no matter how they behave, then there is no mystery. And mystery is one of the strongest forces behind attraction. But when you suddenly step back, everything changes. When your attention disappears, her mind starts asking questions. Why did he stop texting? Did he lose interest? Did he meet someone else? Now suddenly you become a puzzle again. There is actually a psychological idea behind this called the curiosity gap. The human brain dislikes unanswered questions. When something feels incomplete, the mind keeps returning to it again and again, trying to figure it out. So when you quietly step away without drama or long explanations, you create that gap, and that gap stays in her mind. Sometimes silence can create more impact than hundreds of messages ever could. The second reason is doubt. When someone pulls away from you, they often expect a certain reaction. They expect you to chase them. They expect you to ask what went wrong. They expect you to fight for their attention. Because honestly, that is what most people do. But when you react differently, something unexpected happens. Doubt begins to appear. At first, she might feel confident about her decision. She might think leaving gave her control. She might even expect you to text later asking to talk. But when that message never comes, certainty slowly turns into questions. Did I make the right decision? Did he really move on that quickly? Did I lose someone who actually cared about me? Your silence forces her to sit with the decision she made. And here is something many people don't realize. When you stop giving someone your attention, you are not just removing messages from their phone. You are removing your presence, your emotional energy, and the support they became used to. When that suddenly disappears, the contrast becomes very noticeable. This is where many men make a mistake. They become uncomfortable with the silence and send a message just to check in. But the moment that message appears, the doubt disappears too. Because now she knows you are still there, still waiting, still available. But when you stay calm and allow the silence to exist, she has to face her decision without reassurance. And sometimes that is when doubt slowly turns into regret. The third reason is about self-respect. Many men don't realize how easily they give away their power in relationships. It usually happens slowly. Every time you over-explain yourself. Every time you ask if you did something wrong. Every time you chase someone for attention or validation. Without realizing it, you place the other person in control. Because when someone sees that your confidence depends on their approval, the balance shifts. But when you step back calmly, everything begins to change. Real confidence is rarely loud. Real confidence is quiet. It is the ability to walk away from situations that no longer respect your time, effort, or value. When you stop chasing someone who is pulling away, you send a powerful message without saying a single word. You show that your self-worth does not depend on their validation. And that kind of energy stands out. Most people spend their lives trying to be chosen. They chase attention and search for validation. But when someone chooses themselves instead, it immediately feels different. Suddenly, the dynamic flips. Instead of you trying to win her attention, she begins noticing your absence. Now the question in her mind changes. Instead of wondering if you like her, she starts wondering if she just lost someone who respected himself enough to walk away. Another reason women sometimes come back is comparison. At first, leaving a relationship can feel exciting. There is freedom, new attention, and new people to talk to. Everything feels fresh, but after some time, that excitement fades and reality settles in. That is when comparisons begin. The new people she meets might be nice, they might give attention and try to impress her, but something often feels different. The conversations may feel more surface level. The connection may feel lighter. The attention might still be there, but the emotional depth isn't the same. And that is when your memory starts standing out. Not just the things you said or did, but the way she felt when she was around you. Because emotions create stronger memories than words ever can. When someone once experienced comfort, excitement, and a genuine connection with you, that feeling becomes a standard in their mind. And when new experiences don't reach that same level, the mind naturally begins looking back. Sometimes that is when a message suddenly appears out of nowhere. Hey, I was just thinking about you. Or, remember when we used to talk all the time? It may seem random, but most of the time it is not random at all. It is simply someone trying to reconnect with a feeling they haven't been able to replace. But the most important change happens inside you. When you stop chasing someone, you start focusing on your own life again. You reconnect with your goals, your ambitions, and your identity outside the relationship. Maybe you spend more time improving your career. Maybe you return to the gym. Maybe you reconnect with friends or hobbies you ignored before. And that creates something incredibly powerful. Stability. When someone becomes emotionally centered, they don't panic when situations change. They don't beg for attention or chase reassurance. They simply continue moving forward with their life. And that calm energy sends a powerful message. It shows confidence. It shows emotional strength. It shows self-respect. Most importantly, it shows that your happiness does not depend on someone else's approval. Ironically, that is often when people begin seeing your true value. Not when you are trying to prove it, but when you stop trying to prove anything at all. So if a woman comes back after you stop chasing, it usually isn't random. It is the result of curiosity, doubt, comparison, emotional memory, and respect. But remember one important truth. You should never pull away as a strategy to manipulate someone. The real goal is much simpler. Build a life where you are not chasing anyone, where your time, attention, and energy are valuable. Because the strongest position you can ever have in a relationship is knowing you are perfectly fine whether someone stays or leaves. And when you reach that point, people notice. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like the video and subscribe to Learnify for more content about psychology, relationships, and personal growth. And remember, sometimes the most powerful move you can make is simply walking away with dignity.